If you get overwhelmed when you're trying to finish a song, don't worry, it's totally normal. You're not alone. I do too. And I'm going to share exactly how I'm avoiding overwhelm to complete my solo album. One approach I take is focusing on problems before thinking of solutions. And I talked about that in this video, but someone commented on that video saying that there are so many problems in their music that's overwhelming as well. And what's key here is to know what your focus is at each stage of the process and crucially, what to ignore. So I'm going to show you how I'm using my music machine system to do this. And you can get your own copy of this system for free by clicking the link. So here's my music machine. And at the moment, I'm using the popular project management software Trello to reflect what's happening in my machine. But the music machine isn't just Trello. The magic of the machine is what you do within Trello, within the music machine. Because as I'm currently in the final stages, the last couple of weeks of finishing an album, most of my music is in release. There's nothing in Splurge, Discover and Draft, and there's a couple of pieces in Done. That's because I'm cycling through the pieces in release because I'm just about to finish something. And in Ready is my previous album that I finished earlier on this year. So what am I focused on at each stage of the music machine, which has allowed me to avoid overwhelm while making this album? Let's start at the beginning. Obviously, to go from nothing to something, you need to make ideas. So really, Splurge and Discover is the idea generation phase of the process. And hands down, the best way to make the best ideas is to make as many ideas as possible without worrying about quality, and then selecting the best to take to the next stage. The question I'm focused on answering at this stage of the process is, what is the purpose of each individual track? What is it that this piece of music is trying to say? Because that helps me figure out the next stage of the process, which is what I call the execution stage. And really, here, what you're doing is you're creating an arc. That is what you're focused on doing. A shape where the music is going. In simplest terms, an arrangement, although it's more than that. And then finally, last but not least, what I'm on at the moment is the presentation phase of the process. And at this stage, where my focus is on creating space with my music. The way I think about presenting my music in its best possible light is by putting the parts in particular spaces, usually contrasting spaces. It's a great way of mixing and not getting lost in the detail. So in very broad brushstroke terms, that is my music machine system and how I'm going to complete 3 albums this year without getting overwhelmed, by focusing on answering specific questions at specific stages of the process, because each stage of the process requires a different mindset, a different focus, a completely different approach. And if you'd like your own music machine system complete with instructions so you can finish much more quality music without overwhelm, then click the link, because when you focus on trying to do everything, you end up doing nothing.